Hello students. So in the previous videos we studied about mechanical energy. We were studying about mechanical energy and we did one part potential energy. Potential energy we already discussed. It is because either of the position from above the ground or it will be because of the change in configuration or shape of a particular object. Now in this video we are going to study about the second part of mechanical energy, which is called kinetic energy. Now first we will give the definition of kinetic energy. Kinetic, the word kinetic means motion, anything which is moving with certain velocity. So that means we can apply the common sense and we can know that if kinetic word is there, that means this energy should be some kind of energy which is generated because of the motion. Not like potential energy. Potential energy was generated because of the position. This energy is generated because of the motion. You can say that if I am doing some work on a body and that entire work is used to move the body, then what energy is there? That work is getting converted into kinetic energy of that body. If I am, suppose there is a football and I am kicking the football, what am I doing? I am doing some work on that football. That football is moving. It is some displacement is there, and what if the question asks what is the energy in the football, then you would say the energy is kinetic energy. That means the work that I did in kicking the football is converted into kinetic energy of the football. So kinetic energy is because of motion or speed of the body. So it depends upon the speed of the body. If there is no speed, we will say there is no kinetic energy. Now the formula for kinetic energy is derived from a theorem. It is a very important theorem. It is called work energy theorem. Basically it means this theorem converts work into energy and vice versa, energy into work. So this theorem gives us the formula for kinetic energy. How do we derive the formula? That I am not going to discuss right now. That I will be discussing later in the classes. Right now just remember that whatever is the work, that is equal to change in kinetic energy. So if there are two speeds of a body, there can be two cases. Let us say there is a ball and this ball was at rest. It is initially at rest. Then I did some work on the ball, I kicked it, I pushed it, whatever. I did some work on the ball and this ball started moving with certain speed, let us say v, and now it is in motion. So there will be some initial kinetic energy, starting kinetic energy, and there will be some final kinetic energy. There can be another case in which the ball was already moving with some velocity v. It was not at rest, it was already moving. And I applied some force on this ball in the same direction of movement. I did some work, and now what will happen? The velocity will increase, let us say v dash. It was already moving with velocity v. I did some work by applying force on the ball, and the ball increased its speed to v dash. Similar, here also it will have some final kinetic energy and some initial kinetic energy. There can be a third case also. A ball was moving with a speed v, and I applied force, I did some work but in opposite direction, in such a way that after traveling some distance, after I started applying force on this, the velocity kept on decreasing, and eventually this ball came to rest. It came to stop. So that means that it was moving in the starting and then it came to rest. So again there will be some final kinetic energy because this is the final position, and some initial kinetic energy. So whatever is the three cases here, work done will be always be equal to change in kinetic energy. Change in kinetic energy means final kinetic energy minus initial kinetic energy. So let us say if the initial speed, I will write it here, if the initial speed is u and the final speed is v, then the final kinetic energy will be half mv square, and initial kinetic energy will be half m u square, where m is the mass of the body. So from this particular theorem we found out that the value of kinetic energy, the formula for kinetic energy is equal to half mv square. That how did we, whatever the entire procedure that we are going to do later on. Right now remember, work done equals to change in kinetic energy, very important theorem, and from this we get the formula that kinetic energy equals to half mv square. This is your formula for kinetic energy. Now from this formula you can see that kinetic energy is depending upon two parameters. The kinetic energy depends upon two parameters. What are those two parameters? These are m, which is mass, so we can say that kinetic energy is directly proportional to mass of the body, and second, velocity, so we can say direct kinetic energy is directly proportional to the square of velocity, v square. If any one of these two quantities, m or v, any one of these two quantities is zero for a body, then kinetic energy will be zero. Can mass be equal to zero? If it is a particle, does not matter how big it is, how small it is, it will always have some mass. It does not matter how little mass it has, but it will always have some mass. So we can fairly assume that apart from some particular hypothetical particles like photons and all the particles that we see around us will have some mass. So that means mass can never be equal to zero. We can safely assume that. Kinetic energy is also proportional to v square. Can velocity be equal to zero? Of course it can be equal to zero. I am standing right now, my velocity is zero. Which energy do I have? I can have any energy, but I do not have kinetic energy because I am not moving. So that means velocity can be equal to zero. It can be equal to zero. Mass cannot be equal to zero for any physical particle. So these two are important. Remember these points, note them down somewhere. Also we have another formula. I'll just write it here. A relation between kinetic energy and the momentum. Now if you remember, in one of the previous videos we studied about momentum. Momentum was equal to mass into velocity. This was the momentum. Momentum was equal to mass into velocity. So from here we can get that velocity equals to momentum upon mass. Also we have kinetic energy equals to half m v square. So from here we can have v square equals to twice into kinetic energy upon mass, or v equals to root of 2 kinetic energy upon mass. So if we compare these two equations, both are equal to both equations, left hand side are equal, so right hand side should also be equal. That means P by M should be equal to twice of kinetic energy upon M. And if you solve this, then it will come out to be 2M into kinetic energy. So this means, this gives us another relation that I'll write it here. Momentum of any body is equal to root of 2 into mass of that body into kinetic energy of that body. So this is another important relation. You will find many numericals on this. So the summary, how do you summarize this? We can summarize that the kinetic energy is the energy possessed by a body when it has some velocity. If the body is at rest, it will not have any kinetic energy. If it is moving with some particular velocity v, then its kinetic energy will be given by half mv square. How did we get this? We got it from work energy theorem, this to be discussed later. Momentum, this is another important relation for your numerical point of view. So go through this. I'll also give you some numericals on kinetic energy. And then in the next video we'll establish a relation between kinetic energy and potential energy, because remember, both of them are two different types of mechanical energy only. If we combine kinetic and potential energy, we will get mechanical energy. How do we get that? We'll understand with the help of examples in the next video.